we want to trade like a pro. There are different levels of trading. We have the beginner, the intermediate, and the pro trader. You automatically know that the pro trader is one who is profitable in the market, one who understands himself, understands his model, and is able to generate income, profits over time in the market. So is that who you want to be like? Is that who you want to trade like in the market? One who is aware, who is sure that is going to make profits in the market going into next week, going into next month. We are going to study how a pro trader performs and what is the one skill that separates the pro trader from other types of traders. There are two types of traders actually. When you enter trading, you fall into one of these two categories, and we have an A student. So imagine in your class, there are top students in your class. If you went to school, and the A students, they always right. They are driven by ego. They always need to be right. And you always see it when they get an outcome, their results, and if it doesn't meet the expectation, they always tend to object and be like, no, this is not my result. But an A student is always wrong, who tend to accept that same result. Why? Because an A student is driven by fear. They expect to fail. So when they get a D or a C, they are okay with that result. I'm classifying these two categories of people as traders who come into the markets. These two different categories, they have different results academically. But when they come into trading, they have the same result, one same outcome. They both lose. Why is it so? Why is it that an A student is losing in the market, having the same result as an F student? A pro trader is not an A student. A pro trader is not an F student. A pro trader is someone who is slave to their trading rules. It's rules that make you money over time in the market. The trap is that both A and F student, they have rules, of course. They have rules. They even have a foundation. They have a mentorship, and you see them make some occasional profits here and there. And some even have a clear strategy. But something is missing actually, and this is what I figured. They don't respect their rules. So respecting the rules is just the name of the game. So you have to submit to the process. If you are someone that you have been losing in trading before now, I think this is where you need to narrow down on, and that is respecting the rules. Don't learn new strategies or maybe looking for new mentorship. If you have a clear strategy, you have the foundation, this is what is missing, and that is respecting the rules. So the risk is not just more time in the market, it's not even more technical analysis, not more strategies, neither more mentors. So it's about awareness. We talked about trading rules, and now we're coming to awareness. So an aware mindset that trusts the final outcome of following rules. Anytime you come into the market, you need to be aware that what makes you money in today's market or in that session that you're trading is not your model, is not your experience, is not how long you've been in this market. It's the fact that you're aware that your rules is what have kept your capital to this point in time. Your rules protect you, it protects your capital, because you're a human. Your human personality will be tested to the extreme, but what will protect you is your rules, your awareness of rules, not just your rules, but you being aware of following your rules. And the one tool I usually advise other traders to use in training themselves to obey their rules, because when you go to the social media space and you look at trading reviews or traders reviews, you see one thing that is common among traders is the fact that they say they can't follow their rules. They find themselves breaking their rules always. So if you find yourself breaking your trading rules, the one tool I want you to, not just in this video, but go ahead and research after this video, is metacognition. So metacognition is a term I came across while scrolling on X, and I realized that it's such a powerful tool, and I find myself doing it sometimes. I had to do it over a long period of time before I started seeing the positive outcome. And metacognition is all about observing your own thoughts, observing your own thinking pattern. This is not self-criticism or judgment. You're not judging yourself, you're not criticizing yourself, you are observing your thoughts, you're observing your patterns, right? Have you come across someone, and you both are observing an event, and that person is having a different perspective of that event, and you begin to wonder, why is this person thinking like this? Why is this person observing this event while I'm observing it differently? So you have to observe your own thinking patterns, especially when it comes to money, right? So you observe how you think, observe your language, what you talk about when it comes to money and all of that. It's a very simple exercise I want to give you here, and when it comes to metacognition, is to observe when your brain wants to break your rule. So you need to journal it, do nothing. For example, if you're trading in a particular session and you take a losing trade, and your rule states that don't trade more than twice a day, your brain has to come back to that rule. Tell yourself, I've taken one trade, I'm only left with one trade, and once you take that next trade, you close the charts. But then your brain will want to be like, this trade still needs to go, because over time you've had your data, right? You've had your conviction that this model always plays out. He gave you money the other time. He gave you money more than 90% of the time you executed on it. So it must always play out. And now you have executed it twice. Your rules state leave the chart, but your brain says this data has a high win rate. So my question is, are you going to follow your rules, or are you going to follow your brain? So that exercise helps you to journal it and just do nothing and just observe your brain. So your brain is telling you to go this direction, but you're choosing to go another direction. Why? Because the other direction, which is following your rules, is what keeps you in the game. It's what keeps you in the long term, not just your momentary brain triggers. So if you can do this successfully for 1 week, that is a win. When you come to your chat during the weekend or to your journal, your win should be, I avoided breaking my rules during the week, not I made so amounts or even lost so amounts. If you end up losing, your win should be, I avoided breaking my rules. If you end up winning, your win should be, I avoided breaking my rules. The 3-month lock-in is all about you saying, in the next 3 months, I want to track my obedience to these particular rules. So you can start with 2, you can start with 1, you can start with 2, you can start with 3, but just keep it maximum of 3 rules and say, now you have to kind of reflect on your own trading journey and realize that this is a rule you keep on breaking. And definitely you should have your rules crystal clear before now. And when I mean rules, they are model rules, strategy rules, and all of that. But I'm talking of rules that help you preserve your capital, rules that help you stay in the game. And this just risk rules. So start with risk rules. Risk rules is more like I shouldn't lose more than 2% a day or 3% a week, right? I shouldn't trade more than 2 times a day. These are risk rules I want you to focus on. Make it crystal clear. 3 months is just a blink. So can you do it? That's my question to you. Can you actually do it? And once you end up doing that, then I really want to welcome you to the club of pro traders, because just like I have said, following the rules is what keeps you in the game. Following the rules is what separates you from the beginner and the intermediate trader. An elite or a pro trader can come into the market with a beginner trader. A beginner trader can make, let's say, 10,000 a day. Meanwhile, the pro trader didn't take any trade, didn't make any money. To a layman or to someone outside, if you show these results of the elite trader and the beginner trader to someone who doesn't know about trading, doesn't know about the market, they will tell you that the person who made that 10,000 is actually the one who won. That is the beginner. They will tell you that the beginner is actually the pro trader, but the pro trader knows himself, knows that he follows his rule, and knows that he actually won. So that's why you need to keep trading very personal. You need to keep it, very individual. You're on your own lane. You define what success is to you, and you define what failure is to you. And I want to tell you that the only metric you should define your success should be based on you following your rules. Follow the exercise. Learn to observe your brain, your thinking pattern, your triggers, and you will see yourself making progress. Huge progress. So I really want you to subscribe to this channel. I'm building on trading psychology, and then I will also post about my trading analysis and all of that. So subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.